welcome to your Tarot Tuesday. Welcome to the Creatives Tarot. My name is Melissa, and this is the YouTube channel that helps you supercharge your creativity and pursue your passions. I am really excited because we have a brand new month ahead of us. So we're going to do a June 360 life look ahead, forecast, reading, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be looking at romance cards, body and movement cards, creativity cards, dream decoder cards, our creatives oracle, and tarot cards. So these are going to be some nice sizable readings for the full month, and I cannot wait to get started. We'll be doing them by elemental sign. So earth, air, fire, water is going to be the order. I will drop the tags and the timestamps in the description below so you can jump to your sign. As always, I do encourage you, if you know your sun, moon, and rising signs, to listen to all three of those. You're going to get a super in-depth reading that is going to give you a lot of specific context for your lunar chart. So let's get in. Hello, my lovely earth elemental signs. Very excited to dig into your reading. Let's go. Let's see what cards we have here. We're going to start with our tarot cards. So we have the Child of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Hierophant in reverse. This one's been coming up a lot. This is the year of the Hierophant. So there may be some big things happening this year that continue to be themes for our earth signs, which doesn't surprise me, right? Earth is all about foundation and grounding. So grounding yourself in the time of the year could be a big key for you. Our romance card here is trust. The situation is calling you to have faith. Right here. Our creative card here, stop talking. Actions speak louder than words. If your characters couldn't talk, what would they do? So I love using these as creative prompts, but also as oracle messages. So there may be something where you need to listen, right? As opposed to talking and contributing. Let's see, our dream decoder card. So this is the one we got here, and I believe this is lost or trapped. Let's see. Yeah, being lost or losing something. Dreams about being lost, trying and failing to find something or someone, which are anxiety related. So we'll set that there. And then your body movement and flow card, you have the side crow chakra, or the side crow. That's a move, you guys. That's a move. There's no way that I could do that, but I have some thoughts about why this card may have come up for you, and we'll go into that. And then the last is our creative oracle, which is all about the sacred flow of yes. Sacred flow of yes. So let's look at this reading. Let's see, what do we have here? What do we have here? I feel like this trust is a huge theme for you right now. Trust and belief. What do you believe in? And I feel like there continues to be a theme for our earth signs of not being connected to our key values, not being connected or really knowing maybe what it is. Maybe we're questioning our beliefs, right? We've gotten some exposure to something that has made us rethink what we believe to be core and true and fact. And that's throwing us off balance. That's shifting how we exist within the world. We're not feeling right. That's what I think this card is all about. To me, this card, this pose in particular, is about doing something that you previously thought impossible. So having the strength and the courage to do that, looking at things in a different way or perspective, and trusting, but not just in other people, but in yourself, in your own abilities. And I feel like these three cards right here are all connected, are all deeply connected. There's some value that you have about yourself, about your identity, about who you are and what you're capable of doing, that I feel like is not, you're not trusting in yourself. You're not believing that you can do these kinds of moves, these kinds of things. You're listening too much to outsiders, or to people in systems and infrastructures, institutions. This often speaks to institutions, school, government, higher, religion. Those may be confining. They may be making you feel like you're trapped. And when you think about what you're missing, when you think about what you're searching for, why are you feeling lost, right? I don't think this is that you have lost something. I feel like it's you've lost yourself, or you're feeling like you've lost yourself. And so you're really struggling to move forward here. You're really struggling to find a new path. And that path may look different than what you previously expressed. So these dream cards, of course, if you're having dreams about being lost, then definitely take this meaning in. I'll leave this here for a second, and you can read this or pause it and read the full description. But a lot of this speaks to exclusion. It speaks to anxieties or fears. It can speak to like the need to heal and grieve and trust in yourself. And look at, when I see this, the sacred flow of yes, right? This is the idea of not having of being able to move forward without resistance, right? Of trusting in the fact that the universe has your back. Oh, there's that trust again. Trusting in the fact that there is purpose in everything that we do. And when you find the yes, it does flow. It really does. And sometimes we think, well, this is such an amazing coincidence, or this was so easy, or everything just felt right. And sometimes we're afraid when things feel too good, when they feel right. Sometimes we start to question it. We start to doubt. We start to say this is too good to be true. But I have also found that the yeses are often easier than the nos. Yeses can sometimes be easier than the nos. So I just feel like there's something here around allowing yourself to say yes to things that really matter to you, that are really important. So be discerning about what you say yes to, and choose to say yes to things that are really important to you. Let's talk about this Child of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So the Child of Cups card is our Page of Cups. So these are individuals who are new. It speaks to youthfulness. It speaks to a sort of immaturity, but like you're really just like exploring things, right? And so I get the sense that here, this is new relationships, new beginnings, new feelings, new connections to people. So there's going to be new people coming into your life now, right? The city's opening back up, countries are opening back up, people are starting to travel. We have spring or summer coming in full force in June. And so I get the sense that like this is going to give you a lot of opportunity to meet and connect with people and start building or rebuilding relationships, and you should lean into that. You're going to feel a little bit like a social butterfly. You may even feel like you're trapped in this small pond that's in a bigger ocean, and you're like, I am ready to break free. I am ready to meet people and build relationships. And that's really great. And I would say lean into that. That's part of your yes, is getting to be social again. Do it safely, but getting to be social again. I see that in your future for June. Now this Nine of Pentacles, I feel like this is a caution, right? So the Nine of Pentacles, I always think of indulgence with the Nine of Pentacles, harvesting your fruit, harvesting the work that you've done, and, reaping the rewards, getting the benefits of it. And this tells me that for June, you may want to slow down a little bit. Like, yes, I want you to go out. I want you to interact. I want you to meet with other creatives and fill that well of inspiration, but don't cash in all your chips yet, right? Don't, go crazy and spend all your money on a vacation. There's a lot of things that are still uncertain, a lot of things that are up in the air, a lot of things that you may need those resources later, or those things may not be ripe yet, and you may be picking them too soon, too early. So I definitely feel that you want to do everything in moderation. And then lastly, we have this stop talking card, right? So again, I felt like this was about listening and communication. So maybe think about what you can do that doesn't require you to speak, but listen. How can you listen to the people around you, especially in relationships or new relationships? Don't make it all about you, right? Just be there to listen. Just be there to learn. Just be there to observe. That's going to help you in your own creative life, as well as it may just make it easier on any kind of relationships that have tension right now. Listening does require trust, right? Listening requires you to let go of control, and it requires some trust in the people around you. So you don't have to fix every problem that comes up from your partner, your family member, your friends. You can trust that they have the ability to solve it for themselves. And sometimes they just need to vent, and that's okay. So that is your reading. I hope you found this helpful. This is your June forecast reading. Let me know down in the comments below if you like this and what resonated with you the most. I'm going to move on to our next signs. Hello, air signs. Welcome to your June forecast reading. This is a 360 life reading. We have cards from all different types of oracle decks and creativity decks and body movement decks, and I'm really excited to get into it. So let's go. Let's see what cards we have here. Okay, so we've got our Child of Wands card. That card keeps coming up. We've got a Guardian of Wands. We've got a Child of Swords. Okay, so you're all about the royalty, right? All of our court cards are right now. So just so that you remember, the Child of Wands is actually the page. And so you have two pages here. And then we have the Guardian, which is the Queen. So yeah, very, very interesting here. Our romance cards, what's in store for you? Romance? Oh, we've got new love. A new person has stirred romantic feelings. That's exciting. Very, very exciting. Okay, and our creativity prompt and card here is magnify. Up close, everything looks different. Zoom in to focus on a moment, a detail, or an emotion. So this is a prompt that you can use for creative writing, but it's also, I use these as oracles. So there's something in this reading or something in this month that you need to take a closer look at. Set that right there. Our movements, body movement. So I think it's very important that we move, that we connect with our body. And this is the second group to get a move that is advanced yoga. We have what they call the clown or the tripod headstand. Oh, clowns. Let's talk about that. We're going to have to talk about this one. Oops, sorry. Okay, and then our dreams, we've got flowers. So the Dream Decoder deck has given us flowers. And here's the back of that. Typically a symbol of comfort, beauty, kindness, love, or joy. So definitely a lot happening here with this new love, with this comfort, joy energy here. I'm going to put those two right there together. And then we've got Creator Alchemy for our Creative Oracle card. Creator Alchemy. That's beautiful. All right, so what do we have here? Let's look at this. Let's look at these tarot cards. Let's start there. So right away, I'm thinking that there are, I mean, you have two pages. You have page energy here. You have two wands here, which is also interesting to me. And then the Child of Swords. This Child of Swords, swords are all about thought. They're about air. They're about lightness. They're about analysis and strategy and our mental selves, our mental minds. And so when you think about the Page of Swords, to me, I think about this as a quest for knowledge, a quest for information, a quest for logic. So you may be doing a new project, a new creative project that is requiring you to do some research, right? To really slow down and think about the structure of the story you're trying to tell, to do some historical research, to do some world building that requires you to understand science, that requires you to really draw from the world around us, our world around us, to make a robust society, or to really understand the world that your characters are living in. I just feel like you need to draw on the real world to inspire and spark your creative passion. If this isn't something, if you're focusing on something new that isn't writing related, say a new project, a new business idea, again, I think that analysis and gathering information, seeking, asking the questions, all of that is going to play a really big role for you this month. And take the time to do that. Know that you're new and that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers, but there are people and resources out there that can give you guidance and give you the answers. And so you want to embrace that childlike curiosity of asking questions, of just, and being patient, asking questions, being patient, and allowing those answers to show up, and not getting frustrated at yourself when things aren't moving fast enough, because they're moving at the right pace. Now you have this Child of Wands in reverse, and the Guardian of Wands in reverse. And what I actually think this is I don't think this is something that you are blocking. I feel like this is something that is just starting to grow and hasn't fully manifested, and that's why it's in reverse. And I think as you lean into this, as you do this throughout the month of June, you're going to be able to flip these cards to their full potential for July. That is what I'm feeling right now. These are both about passion and purpose. We've got our little salamander here, but they're both about passion and purpose. That's what the wands are. Fire, what ignites you, what excites you, what are the things that really motivate you? Why do you want to be a writer, a creator, an artist? And what are the things that you want to talk about, the specific things? The Child of Wand, again, child and pages are all curious, all adventure. And so I think in the research, you're going to find new sparks, new paths, new ideas. And that's going to allow you to develop very quickly into somebody who understands how to master that and isn't afraid to dive into the fire. So I kind of feel like it goes like this, right? It's like, here's June, here's where we are at the start of June. And in fully embracing this, we're going to start to find little sparks of things that ignite us about the new project. And then by the end of June into the beginning of July, you're going to be ready to jump into the fire, right? You're going to be all hands on deck, fully owning the story that you want to tell, the project that you want to make or create, the business that you want to start. You're going to be ready to dig in. And you may not have all the answers still, but you feel much more confident in what you're trying to do. So that's what I'm sensing here. And I think that also amplifies this new love. I think that, of course, this can be a person. So if you're single and you're dating, I think there could be someone that is a crush, somebody that you're excited about, somebody that's paying attention to you or watching you. I also think this could be a character. I'm going heavy with the writing here, but it could be a new love, a new character that you've discovered, a new world that you've discovered, that again, you're just kind of crushing on this world. And I think enjoy that. Don't let the logic distract you too much from this, from the sparks that exist in your creative project, and enjoy that. It's bringing you beauty. It's bringing you comfort. It's bringing you indulgences, and that's great. Let's look at this. I'm going to hold this up a little bit more so you can pause this and read it if you want to, especially if you start having dreams around flowers or seeing flowers and imagery everywhere. Obviously, it's summer, people are gardening, but yeah, here's the messages. So a couple of things, there's some color symbolism here. So paying attention to the colors or the type of flower can help you get clarity on the messages that they're trying to send. Are they wild? Are they garden flowers? Are they artificial flowers? Are they fresh and blooming or dying? Like all of those can send a signal to you. But yeah, go ahead and pause this if you want to read through this whole explanation here. All right, and then let's talk about these two. So yeah, clowns. Clowns are scary. This reminds me of the Hanged Man, right? Obviously, this upside down, this headstand is like a change of perspective could be helpful for you. What I love about this card is the versatility, right? Like you don't have to go into a full headstand. You can do this position. I'm not sure why it's called the clown. I kind of want to do some research on that to see, but I think like looking at things from a different perspective, a change of perspective, reversing your position on something, maybe even a choice or a belief that you had, just allowing yourself to think, well, what would this story look like from this other character's perspective? What would this story look like if I started at the end instead of the beginning? Allow yourself to play with those questions and the what if questions, the things that feel impossible. Allow yourself to play around in that area. The Creator Alchemy. I actually want to read a little bit from this guidebook because I actually think that's helpful with this card in particular because it's such a unique card in the deck. So hold on here. Okay, so the essential meanings of this card are that what is your true calling, your true purpose, your ability to manifest your dreams into reality, being on the road to success and new creative abilities. So you're about to step onto a timeline of great potential where there is a window of opportunity to engage in your own evolution. Use your creator alchemy to refashion offbeat skills or to rethink unusual experiences from your past that will become relevant again. So that's part of the reason why I like reading these prompts from the guidebook, because that's what I'm thinking this is. This is a reversal. It's like, it's not necessarily going backwards, but it's like taking a closer look at that, taking a closer look and magnifying something from your past that is going to be really helpful to setting you forward. And that may also be what this is all about. So that research that I was talking about earlier with the Child of Swords, that analytical side, this could be taking a closer look at your own history, whether it's a specific event or trauma that you faced, or whether it's your ancestors and understanding your story and where you came from and genealogy. But I feel like there's something worth exploring in your past that, again, is going to open the doors for these two cards, your passion, your purpose, and it's going to help you find new love, even new love of yourself, right? A new appreciation for yourself and who you are. A couple of other things that came up with this card in particular, the questions that come with this. Have you been tracking ideas and the wisdom that you are downloading from Spirit lately? So that's a suggestion of things that you can do. Another one is you are a badass creator. I love that. You've been alchemizing your experiences for a while. So what's holding you back from manifesting your big dream, right? What is holding you back? And do you need more support? Do you need technique, guidance, determination, faith, energy, certainty? What is it that's holding you back? I want you to journal that question in particular and think about it this month, and then use the new moon and the full moon energies to help manifest that. All right, this is your reading. I hope you found this helpful. It's a beautiful, positive, exciting reading, so I can't wait to see what happens in the month of June for you all. If it resonated with you, give me a like, drop some notes down in the comment below to say what you're most excited about in June, and I'm gonna move on to the next group. Thanks. Hello, fire signs. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started. We've got so many cards here, so many cards. So I just want to flip them over and play. Let's see what we've got. The Explorer of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Elder of Wands. Swords and Wands are showing up in full force today. Our romance card here is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. There's your love message there. Sensing something with confidence here. Your creative prompt, move ahead 3 spaces. What would happen if you skipped over the next few scenes, days, or years? So future thinking energy here. Our body movement, half split or splits. Okay, definitely feeling that here with the Two of Swords energy. Our theme here was the birds. So this is the Dream Decoder deck. So I use this as an oracle, but this could also be themes or things to look out for when you see them in your waking life or in your dreams. And you had birds, right? A bird or flock of birds is generally a positive sign, a symbol of freedom and joy, as well as hopes and aspirations taking flight. So there's something, again, with this future imagery here of birds that is connecting me. So I'm going to put that over there. And this is our last card here, which is our creative oracle. Shift the way to new potential. I can read, I promise. It's just early. The way to new potential. So there's a shift happening, which I definitely feel that here with these 2 cards in particular. So we're gonna just drop that right there. Yeah, so this is an interesting spread and layout. Let's talk about this. What is happening? Okay. So, I mean, we got to talk about this Two of Swords. The Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Speaking of crossroads, speaking of indecision, speaking of stalemate and being stuck, I have a feeling that there may be a squabble or a disagreement or a feeling of stuck that happens. It's very small this month, or it's coming to an end. So if there is something that came immediately to mind when you saw this, or when I said feeling stuck, a stalemate, you're not making any progress, you're stuck between 2 options or decisions, that's what this is referring to. If something just immediately popped into your head, that situation, that circumstance, you're like, oh, yep, that's it. That's what we're talking about. And I feel like this is coming to a resolution. I feel like it's getting smaller, but that's because you're allowing yourself to understand the bigger stakes and situation here. But you are being pulled in 2 different directions. And that's what I think the splits represents, right? You're being pulled in 2 different directions. I think these 2 options are not necessarily bad. I think the reason that you're stuck is because there are 2 good options and you don't know which one to choose. So you feel like you're in between. You feel like you're being pulled apart between 2 things that you really love or care about and enjoy. For some of you, I feel like this is your identity. I feel like you are in the process of leveling up. You're in the process of leveling up and a major shift and a major transformation. And that is causing anxiety. It's causing anxiety and fear. And you don't have to be afraid of the new version of you, right? Of growing. You don't have to be afraid of growing, of coming into your own, of stepping into your power. I kind of get this sense, especially because of the order that these came out with the Two of Swords, the Explorer of Swords on this side, and the Elder Wands on this side, that this is the transition. This is a natural transition. Now, here's what's interesting about this. The Explorer of Swords, the Explorer cards are signified by a crow, a bird. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the backdrop to this blanket that I have on the table here is actually Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. So you've got birds already. You got 2 birds showing up right now. But this crow is really interesting. And in the guidebook, it talks about this crow being perched on the edge of the cliff and believing that they know everything because they have this great vantage point and they can see everything. And they're sort of mastering like on this and using that to direct and guide. And sometimes they're really cocky. Sometimes they're so full of themselves. They're so certain that they know everything and they forget that there's stuff behind them. Maybe they even forget that they're standing on the sword that could just easily fall off, similar to the Fool energy here, and that they could go flying off unexpectedly. But there's something here too about that crow, about that the ego that comes with the explorer. This would be the Knight of Swords if you're familiar with tarot. This would be that Knight of Swords energy, that sophomore energy where you're wiseful, like you have enough knowledge to be dangerous, but it's you're not an expert. And I feel like you're moving, you're evolving, and you're afraid to let go of that. You're being called to step into this position of power and of mastery. This is the King of Wands. So this is like fully owning your path, who you are, leveling up, and going through that transition. There's going to be some mistakes you make. There's going to be some rocky moments, but that doesn't mean it's not the right path for you. And I feel like this move ahead 3 spaces is maybe the speed in which this has happened. Like you're kind of feeling like, whoa, like I didn't expect to be here this soon. I didn't expect to get this kind of promotion, this kind of attention, this kind of opportunity. It like just yesterday I was doing X and now I'm Y. Don't take that as a bad sign. This is a good sign. It's joyous. It's a cause for celebration. I'm going to leave this up here so that you can see this. But it says the birds are generally positive, right? A symbol of freedom and joy. Your hopes and aspirations are taking flight. They're ready to take flight, but you have to trust in them. I was looking to see if there was anything about ravens or hawks on here. I mean, you've got eagles, hawks, and falcons and other predatory birds might appear threatening, reflecting an insecurity. Oh, so see, I feel like there's an insecurity here, but those birds are strong and they're wicked smart. So I do think there's something there around the birds that if you're seeing them, pay attention to them. Pay attention if they come up in dreams, but there's definitely this sense that you're afraid or you're insecure of your own abilities. And I think that's where this love message comes in. You need to learn how to love yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting your abilities. Stop doubting the opportunities and questioning the good things that are happening to you. Stop with the imposter syndrome, right? This card is all about power. You see, like, this is mastery of fire, right? You only create fireworks with a deep knowledge and understanding of how fire works. It's a controlled explosion that is beautiful, but dangerous and potentially deadly. And yet, if you can master that, you can bring so much beauty and joy into the world. And I feel like that's where you're at. Is like, this is also typical to me, entrepreneur, CEO energy. They're charismatic and charming and like everything kind of fits together and it just feels effortless. But know that it feels effortless. It's not always effortless. In fact, it's a lot of work to appear effortless. So don't beat yourself up if you're like, I'm in this role now and I don't like it and I'm not any good at it. And other people, it just comes naturally. A lot of times it doesn't come naturally. They just do it and make it look like it does. So I feel like that's the message I'm getting for you, is to embrace this change, learn to accept that you deserve this. And the more you love yourself, the more people are going to be celebrating you, and you're going to attract people into your lives who are really there to lift you up and support you and are excited to be around you, versus people who are like, well, this person's a Debbie Downer. This person's so depressing to be around, right? Or they like, all they do is vent and complain. People want to be around folks that excite them and inspire them and motivate them to do more and to live their life more fully. And so lean into that and follow your own advice. Shift the way to new potential. I want to read this card as well. I've been reading these from the guidebook because I actually think it has a really great meaning to it. So just one thing here, in terms of like essential meanings, it talks about human evolution, the charisma of a powerful leader, which I talked about with the Elder Wand, coming to alignment with the highest purpose, your soul story, uncovering your highest potential, right? So I feel like, again, that's why this transition is so important. Self-care message around this card is a need for humility, determination, tolerance, and perseverance, showing patience and understanding, right? The need to turn away from naysayers. And here's what I love: having one foot in the old world and one in the new. Having one foot in the old world and one in the new. How beautiful is that? Like, all these cards are aligned. They're all coming together in just such a beautiful way here. And the questions that it asks here with this new shift that I want you to focus on this month is: have you been feeling the call to change and yet holding back? What's keeping you from choosing your new path? And how can you best support others as they shift into the very best versions of themselves? Think about, what is the potential? What does that new potential look like? If you jump 3 steps ahead, what does that new potential look like for you? What lies ahead, and what can you embrace in the month of June? So that's your reading, fire signs, fire signs, fire signs. Go forth. Make great shit happen. And I can't wait to hear about it. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. And take care. I'm going to move on to the next group. Hello, water signs. Very excited. I know you're the last group to go, but I can't wait to get into this. These readings have been a lot of fun. So let's see what cards you have that we pulled for you. So are your tarot cards: Judgment, the 4 of Wands, and the Explorer of Cups in reverse. Okay. I'm going to push these up here a little bit further so we have more room. We've got our True Love card. This is the Romance of a Lifetime. Interesting. I'm going to drop this over here by this Explorer of Cups. Our creative prompt here: puny humans. Sometimes it really is the end of the world. How would your story change if the stakes were cataclysmic? Let's put that over there with Judgment. Our body position here, our body position, physical body, feet up the wall. Feet up the wall. Is that gorgeous? And then, sorry, shaking the camera. Here's our dream decoder message. It's technology, or this is cell phones. So a phone represents the ability to communicate. So there's some communication stuff happening for you. And then lastly, the edge of evolution feels messy. This is your creative oracle card. The edge of evolution feels messy. So this is an interesting little reading here that we got. Interesting little reading. Let's start with our tarot cards here, right? Let's start with the tarot cards here. So we've got Judgment, we've got the 4 of Wands, and then we've got this Explorer of Cups. So the Explorer of Cups, let's start here, is actually our Knight of Cups. It's in reverse. And this has got me thinking about this True Love card, because our Knight of Cups is all about romance. They're in love with the idea of love. They love to swoon. They love to be loved. They love to be very romantic and have romantic grand gestures. Sometimes they're not the person you settle down with. They're the player, the one that's like, I'm in love, and 5 minutes later I'm out of love. They're in love with infatuation. They're in love with the rush and the passion. But they're not always reliable. They're knights, you guys. They're knights. So they're not always reliable. They're not always the one that you settle down with. Now, interesting, this card is in reverse. So I have this feeling for some of you, especially if you're not in a committed relationship, or if you're not married, I should say, that this person that you thought was a player, this person that you thought was not serious, this person that you have maybe even had an on again, off again relationship with, is actually a true love partner. I think you had a perception one way, and that perception has flipped, right? For a variety of different reasons. So give that person a chance. Maybe they're maturing. Maybe they're on the edge of moving out of this explorer stage and into the guardian stage, or the king stage. Now I'm forgetting what the name is in this deck. But anyway, I feel like they may be transitioning out of that space. And this is also making me think about the judgment, because they may have grown. You may be seeing them and misreading them as an explorer and judging them for their past mistakes, but they may have actually matured. And this reading of them as the explorer of cups, as the knight of cups, may be incorrect. It may be false. It may be time to reevaluate and set aside some of that judgment, because this person is actually somebody that's meant to be in your life, and this is the romance of a lifetime. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. If you're in a committed relationship, I'm also getting the sense that there's definitely, you need a date night. I'm not going to be blunt. You need a date night. You need to rekindle, do something that you love. Stop judging each other for the day-to-day stuff that happens, or the little squabbles that happen when you're living together, especially because of quarantine and all this other stuff that's been happening, and you're getting on each other's nerves. Like, you need to just recognize that relationships require work. This is a special relationship. There is real love there, even if you forget that in the day-to-day. And this is like, go on a date, spend some time together. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. And I think that will drive and fuel some of your other passions here. We've got the Four of Wands, and the reason why I think about the date and the Four of Wands is this also reminds me of anniversaries. So I always think of the Four of Wands as celebrations, graduations, anniversaries, weddings, some kind of event. So think about what you can do to get dressed up, to feel really special, whether it's a quick vacation, a weekend getaway trip, a party, attending somebody else's wedding, going on a date night to a fancy, expensive restaurant that you wouldn't normally go to, right? Doing something that requires you to get out of your own environment, to really celebrate where you are, and to just have fun. I feel that energy right now in June for you all as something important and something that is needed. And I think about this card too. Like, sometimes I'll think of this as the Hanged Man, but really when this card came up and I was looking at it, I was thinking about childlike wonder. If you've ever been around little kids, they are so amazed at everything their body can do. And they'll just lay in the weirdest positions. And this reminds me of that childlike wonder. There was something just so fun about putting your feet on the wall. Your feet don't belong on the wall. They belong on the floor, right? But to lean against the wall and get a different perspective, but just also be really playful and just not rush to do something. Just enjoy. That's what I love. Enjoy. That's all you have to do. And so again, I'm feeling for you all in June, there is a playfulness here that needs to happen. Just having fun, exploring. It's June, it's summer. Go out, go to the beach, go on a vacation, take some time off. This is the time. Don't wait to do that. Okay. Communication. So making sure you're communicating well. Oh, this is cell phones. Communication is what the phone represents. So I'm going to let you pause this and you can read the full definition if that's helpful. It's going to talk about a couple of different alternatives to this meaning, right? So if you're having technical difficulty versus if you're constantly getting texts or emails and fast communication, this could be urging you to move forward, a desire to be more direct, more in control, right? All of those are themes that could come up this week, this month. This also could mean that you're desiring to feel disconnected. And I just want to say that, like, you might need to have more communication with your partner, with your family, and less communication with work, less communication with social media, right? There may be a desire to move away from that and really indulge and living some life experiences so that can fuel your creative passions. This one here, I love this card. So, you know, are you obsessing over something? Are you being really dramatic over something that is not life or death? That is not a big deal, and you're making it into a big deal, right? So I think that's like, think about the thing that's irritating you, especially about your partner. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like the romance piece here is really important. So this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship though. It could be a friendship. It could be a familial connection. But I feel like there's somebody who's really important in your life. And I feel like you may be stuck. You may be judging them, again, too harshly, too critically for something that happened. And is it really that big of a deal? At the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal, or can you just forgive and forget? Also, if you write a story or use this as a prompt for a story or scene, I would love to read it. Okay, so there's that. And then the last card we have here is our Creative Oracle. The edge of evolution feels messy. So again, this is where that judgment card to me comes in, because I really do want you to set aside judgment this month. I know it's really hard to do, and it's very natural for us to look at a situation or circumstances and try to analyze it, and then to add our own opinion or thoughts and say, well, I would never do that, or this is a stupid decision, or, you know, you can just get caught up in the gossip and in the judging and the messiness of it all. But life is messy, right? And so I want you to stop judging yourself for feeling like you're a mess. And I want you to stop judging others when they make mistakes. Again, give them room to grow, give them room to evolve. I think this card said something about like the edge of life, the edge of growth. Growth is messy. Growth starts from the edges. That's what it was. Growth starts from the edges and it works its way in. And so as it's molding and taking form and taking shape, it's messy. I want you to think about that with your creative projects, with your art. And writers know this well. We go through 5, 6, 10, 12 drafts of a project. We know that those first versions are really rough and really messy. And you just need to move through those projects without judgment, right? You need to turn the editor, the critic off, and just really focus on allowing those changes to happen. Make changes, practice new things, explore new things, try new things, and allow yourself to fail. Because even in failure, even in bad design, even in poor writing, even in all of those things, you're going to learn something. You're going to get new information, new insights, new understanding, new clarity of what it is you really want to do. So it's not wasted effort. It is something that is going to help inform your next choice and your next decision. And you can always put it back, right? You can try something and cut it off and then put it back. That is okay. And that's the same with life. You could take a class, you can learn a language, you can watch a new show, you can date someone new. And if you don't like them, if it doesn't work out, you know a little bit more about what you're looking for. So I want you to have that attitude in June as you move forward. This is your reading. I hope you found it helpful. It feels really inspiring to me. I know change can be scary, but there's so many cards here that feel like emphasizing the playfulness, the celebratory nature of this change. And I think the vacation and the break will be good for you. The date night will be good for you. And you know what? If you're not in a relationship, I need you to date yourself. I need you to go on a retreat, a creative retreat. Even if you can't afford to take a hotel, go to a friend's house and stay in one of their rooms. Do something to carve out space for yourself, even if it's just a day, even if it's just a few hours working in a coffee shop or at the beach or somewhere that you wouldn't normally go, to just fill that creative cup and fall in love with yourself, fall in love with your projects again. Okay, that's it. That's the reading. I hope you found this helpful. If so, drop me a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know what most resonated with you. I will see you next Tarot Tuesday. Bye.